Oh, goodness gracious.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Oh, sorry. That's a bit of a snort laugh to start it off, too.
Love it, love it. Welcome, smilers, welcome, campers, to another What's Up Wednesday. This is Shorty and Scott coming to you live here for our What's Up Wednesday segment where we catch up with the stories. What's the latest news? Where are we doing? What are some of the beautiful stories that's happening out there in the community to share with you the journey of the business of smiles, what we're doing, how we're spreading smiles and connections. Because you know what? It's time to reconnect. It's time to bridge that gap. That time is now, and it all starts with a smile. Scotty, how's your week?
Just for something different, huge. Just for something different. Like, it's interesting. I straight off the bat, a little bit left of centre, but that's what I do.
Standard.
Standard, right? Last Thursday night, I was exhausted. And I like to do my campfire lives on a Thursday night, and I was just absolutely exhausted. Been pushing at both ends back into training full bore because I've got a little run from Sydney to Melbourne to do. So training's just a little bit important for that. So I upped the ante around the training on the strength work, and that, and amongst all the other heavy conversations I've been having lately, just exhausted. So I need a bit of time for myself, a bit of time to reflect, and a bit of time to just get myself right again, fill my cup up, make sure that I can do for others. Because as you will understand, Shorty, when we have some big emotional conversations, they actually take a lot of energy out of us. You know, going up to Sydney, catching up with the amazing people. Hey, Janelle, how are you? So good to see you on. You know, doing all these things that we do, it actually takes a lot of energy. So we've got to sort of protect it a little bit, because you and I are so in the moment, and we're in there, we're doing, and all of a sudden we get to the point where we just rest for a minute. Well, for me in particular, I rest for a minute, but I actually need a lot more than just a minute to recuperate. I actually need probably at least sort of a week of just defragging from everybody. So, you know, and how's your experience with that sort of thing, Shorty?
Yeah, I mean, it's so true, right? Because it's the ability to, for me, fill up the cup, and in order to give back to others, you know, and that's through different means. And, you know, sometimes it's unplugging, sometimes it's just doing nothing, sometimes it's just, you know, watching a movie with the fam, whatever that may be. And it's, you know, sometimes I use the analogy of you get the little taps on the shoulder. And those little taps are signs of like, you need to fill your cup, Shorty. You need to fill your cup, Shorty. Sometimes Shorty just keeps on charging. And if I don't listen to the taps, I get a 4B2 in the back of the head. Boom. Right. And it can hit me for a good 6. But if I don't listen to the 4B2, usually what happens is a Mack truck just comes and goes, meow, splat. And that's when it's like, okay, I get it. But usually it's just like, that's when it's in bed for a week. But usually don't get to that stage, which is good. It's usually the 4B2. So I've got, you know, some big bumps in the back of my head. But it's the ability to stop and listen, and just to fill that cup up, as you said.
Yeah, and like the 4B2, like I wish I could feel that. I need a Mack truck to I need a Mack truck to let me know that I need to slow down. But it's so important, right? And it's one of the things I was having a bit of a chat on Monday night inside the Safe Place to Land, and it was just a great chat. And we're just talking about how it's actually good to sometimes sit in silence, and that uncomfortable silence, even when you're just having a big chat. Quite often when I'm sitting with someone, I'll actually say nothing, just nothing, because it's just, I have to take in the conversation. I have to take in what it is, paying attention. Like when you're listening, active listening correctly,
Yep.
you're trying to take on as much as you can.
Mm.
and you're looking for key points in the conversation. And it actually takes energy to do that rather than sitting there trying to put my point of view across. It's actually trying to understand and ask questions and get a deeper understanding. And curiosity, you'll notice people's eyes narrow when they go to curiosity. And that actually takes the focus and the energy brings it forward. And it's interesting because as you do your podcast, you would see that with people and you watch the facial structure, you see how when they move, how they move, and then you know when to engage again. But it takes energy to do that. So
Yeah.
when you, yeah, like even on the Monday nights when I do my 2 hours, 2 and a bit hours in there, I need an hour beforehand and I need an hour afterwards to really come back down because my concentration is so much that
Mm.
the energy levels are heightened. Do you find the same thing when you're doing the podcast and things?
Yeah, 1,000%. Because you're looking, as you said, you're looking at for all those cues, and sometimes that's why I like doing an interview on a video rather than just on audio, because the face actually shows so much. Big Al Stevens would testament for that is looking at what are those feelings, what are those emotions behind those words and the tonality. And so you're capturing some of that and you're going, oh, tell me more about this, or what do you mean by that? And you're exploring. And so that is, as you said, that real active listening of engagement and not thinking about, oh, where's my next message coming from? Of, oh, yeah, what's having for dinner tonight? Oh, that's nice. But you're actually engaged and you're actually in that moment, and where everything else is blocked out because you're so intentional with that person that you're actually communicating with.
Yeah, 100%. I just want to say, Matt Davies, thanks, Matty, for throwing
Yeah.
this up. When you listen, you learn. When you talk, you only repeat what you already know, and I like that. I like the thought of that because when you are listening, you're looking for new information to take in. When you talk, it's just the information you already have being expelled. So I really like that, Matty. Thank you for that.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So we're straight off on a tangent tonight, as just for something different. But it's something both you and I are really proud of, right? We're so proud of being
Yeah.
active listeners, and that's something that we'll probably talk about in a little bit because I want to actually. Do you know what? I'm going to go straight there now because we've got the 4x4x48 coming up on April 29, and we're looking at ways in which we can. Cheers, Matty. Much love. I've got to throw that up there. Much love. I love that. We'll take the love. But it's when we do the actual run, we're looking at ways to support the community up in Lismore. And one of the things that I'm going to throw out there now, and I'll just because I'm me, I'll throw it out live and we'll work around it. But what I really want to do is I want to get 1,000 pairs of socks over the weekend donated, because 1,000 pairs of socks donated on that one weekend is going to give us the opportunity, me included, to go up to Lismore and say thank you to people for doing their best. And one of the things that is so powerful in what we do is literally this: the active listening, the concentrating, the sitting there and just being patient to hear what people have to say, and the healing that comes with that. We're not here to fix anything. We're just here to listen. And that's so you and I have talked about that. Can we sort of make that a bit of official? Can we do that? Is that all right? Can we do that?
1,000%. Let's. You've deemed it official, so it's now official. So the 29th of April, where we have the 4x4x48 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours, where events will be hosted down in Melbourne with Scotty, and then up in Byron with myself, or even in your own community. If you jump over to our website, I Hope You Are Smiling, you'll see the 4x4x48 tab up the top. If you want to join, if you want to register, jump on in. $20 to register, $40 for a registration pair of socks, $60 if you want to donate a pair of socks, or jump onto our MyCause site and donate a pair of socks straight off the bat. The goal up until now and over that weekend is to raise 1,000 pairs of socks, to get 1,000 pairs of socks donated, raised, so we can actually get up there and just sit, just talk, hear them, be there, listen, and because it's been once again a huge journey for those dealing with the recovery from the floods. It's absolutely, yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm going to jump straight into that actually, Shorty, if that's okay. I want to talk about the recovery of the floods. This is actually a really, really personal thing for you right now. You're clearly going through a lot, and there's a lot of opportunities up there. And one of the things that feel free to not share anything, because it is a personal thing that you're actually currently going through. But at the moment with the kids' school, it's devastated.
Yeah, gone.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, gone.
Yeah.
Is it going to be pulled down? Don't know. What's the next step? We don't know. But what we do know is that there's a vision. What we do know that there's alternatives. What we do know that it's business as usual. The kids are this week have been going to different halls in Ballina and Lennox and still doing their classes, modified versions. And the principal, John, has got a vision. He's secured a space at Lismore University for next term, which is in a couple of weeks. So, we're talking about this before, and the images that most of us have seen on, the news or TV have been absolutely heartbreaking. But here's a big but. It doesn't give the context of actually being there itself. The enormity, the sensory overload that one experiences, and I just like in the whole scheme of things, like for me, it's that part where it's like that part, personally didn't lose anything, but I was there helping for the cleanup. But to see the grief, to see the loss, to see the carnage, to see the impact, to smell the impact, to feel the impact, it is a sensory overload. And I think we were talking about this before, is to having context around the situation so you fully understand only through your eyes, because you can't understand or feel what other people have gone through or actually in it and completely lost everything. But it's that sensory overload when you're in that environment, the impact that it actually has. So for us to raise the 1,000 socks to go and sit there and be there, it is going to be a massive, massive contribution that we can do for these beautiful people.
Yeah, it's so often things happen in life for people. So often people go through hard times. And if we can take the time to just sit with them. Thank you for doing your best right now. We're all human, right? And I'm just right off on a tangent. We're all a part of one community. We've got some painful situations going on in the world that are just being fueled, and I want to get back to humanity. Maybe we've never been there. Maybe now it's a time of life where we actually need to learn it. Just sitting there and being there, I'm just I'm just going to go deep, it's just some stuff that happened to me when I was young, and I never processed it. It sat in me for a long time. I didn't have the opportunity to share how I felt. I was an angry person for a long time. And I found people who started to listen and just without wanting anything other than just for me to be the best version of me. It takes time. If you get enough good people around you, things really change. I didn't expect us to go here tonight, Shorty, but I think we're all doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
You know, like we really are. You know, and I'm sorry about my language, but it's a shitstorm, right? It's just constant bombardment with things going left, right, center, adjustment. If you're a business owner at the moment, staff through to changing the way you operate left, right, and center, the pressure on people, it's extraordinary. You know, the amount of people I just go and say thank you for doing your best, and it's just tears well up in their eyes.
Mm.
You don't have to say anything. You feel every part of them. But in that moment, Sabu Bona, yeah, I see you. I feel you. I'm here. Just present. Can't wait to get there, Shorty, and just sit. And I hope our communities get behind us and we can show people how to do this. Because we've got an amazing community of humans in behind us. Down there behind us in the socks. Those women are amazing. They support and love their community and they're just present. The best gift you can ever give, your presence. How's your heart today, Shorty?
A little bit, as I said to you before, a little bit cloudy. There's spots of brightness, spots of cloudiness, goes in and out, a bit like the weather up here at the moment. Bit of rain, bit of sun. Good analogy, actually. You know, when you're talking now, it reminded me of the ADF, the Defence Forces up here at the moment. And where Lily plays basketball in at Byron, there's about 300 personnel camping outside the centre, and they've got the massive big trucks and all the bulldozers, and it's just huge. There's like about 30 odd different vehicles there, and you see them driving through the streets of Byron. It looks like war zone. It's just phenomenal. It's just they don't go around the roundabout, they just go straight over it because their wheels are so big. And I was talking to one of the officers the other night. I'm not sure if he was an officer. I don't know what the stars mean and what the different ranks are, but I was just talking to him and I just say, mate, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming up here and helping. And you could feel this big bravado that came upon him initially when I was talking. The war comes up, it's like, oh, civilian, or I don't know, I'm just guessing whatever he was thinking, but the war. But as soon as the acknowledgement came through and I just sat and just, oh, he'll be back in a minute after this commercial break. I'll continue on the story, is that when I actually just acknowledged and just thanked, it just completely dropped. And you could feel the softness, you could feel the heart, you can feel the, oh, wow, the connection was just magical because of that wall had dropped. So it was a really beautiful experience. And I think, you know, the more that we can get out into the community and sit and listen, and just acknowledge people. We talked about it the other week about, you know, giving thanks with context. You know, it's such a beautiful thing when you can actually feel the response. And this is where Scott was talking about the active listening. It's not actually just listening, but it's also a sensory response and how you actually feel when you walk into a room and maybe there's been an argument and it's, oh, that's a little bit prickly in there, and you could just cut the air with a knife. Think about this. Here's a little thing, right? You could maybe do over this week. Think about this week when you're having a conversation, just to tap into your own feelings and how you're feeling in that conversation. And then pick up on the other person's feeling. Because as we've said before, we are all connected and we are very in-tuned beings. And when you can actually just stop, take that breath, understand, be aware of your own emotions, and then understand what the other person's emotions can be feeling. Oh, it's beautiful, because that is a real deep connection. That is a really, really deep connection when you can actually go through that. And then you can walk that journey together, right? You can start to walk that journey together. So it's a beautiful thing. So try that on this week. Try that on. See how you go. Understand your own emotions and your feelings as you're having these conversations. Sometimes, me included, sometimes that emotion goes, and then when the emotion goes, the logic goes, and it's just like not going in anywhere. But through the power of the breath, we can start to manage those emotions and start to, if you get excited or get stressed or frustrated, we can start to bring that down through the breath, and the logic can start to increase. So try that on for this week. So Scotty's has got some lovely internet issues that's happening at the moment, and I'm sure he will be back shortly. But I want to share a little update of what's been happening around the grounds as well. So we've been busy with getting some grant processes underway. So we're really excited to get that, and doing the process of writing up some grants and some applications around that. We've got some amazing gentleman, Zach Abid, to helping us going through that process and writing some tenders. We're busy planning, obviously, the 4x4x48 coming up at the end of April. And then the big one in October, the Sydney to Melbourne, 1,200 kilometers over that month of October, to hand out 10,000 of these socks, right? And so looking at that to really unpack that and to get people on board. Oh, guess who's back? Scotty's back. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? So I've been having some lovely conversations.
So how's things, Shorty?
And that's a wrap. Thanks for everyone for tuning in this evening. Where's that button?
Oh, I love it. Oh, where's that button? So I probably missed some gold stuff, which I'm probably have to go back to, and I apologise. But this is the opportunities that are right. Like that's my internet.
I said you're on I started off at we'll be back after this commercial, and then it went to a wee break, and then it went to an internet issue.
So did you at least tell a decent joke? Like, did you get anything out? Did you?
Oh no, we went deep and meaningful. We went deep and meaningful. Yeah, you'll have to watch the replay.
Yeah. I love it. And I look, apologies for that. And you reckon I'd be all over my tech stuff, but that's me, right? And Shorty will tell you. So
Shorty, what's his button mean? What is this? Where do I press his button?
Shorty, can you send me a link to the meeting, please? 5 minutes before I gotta be there. Oh God. Anyway. So is it so have you got anything else to fill in on that? Because
no, because I've shared some other updates around. We've been writing some grants and getting that underway, and also gearing up for the big run in October, which we're definitely need some further support on getting us through that 1,200 kilometers.
Yeah. I just want to. I know it's. I just want to let you know it's actually 1350. Just in case you need the extra 150 Ks. I love you, mate, but I'm not going to shortchange you. That's all right. That's all right. But I do want to share something quickly. Something amazing happened. Actually, I'll save the full story to next week. However, there's an amazing thing that has happened where a gentleman by the name of Simon has jumped on board and really gotten behind us in a great way. He sends parcels all over Australia, and he's actually sending them now with a pair of socks in every parcel he does, just to send a smile to somebody. He goes, "I got no idea who opens these packages. I got no idea who opens up what goes on in here, but I want them to have a smile." So he sends them with a packet of snakes and a pair of socks, just to say thank you for doing your best. How awesome is that? Like,
amazing.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm so excited about our future. I'm so excited about what we bring to our communities. I'm so overwhelmed with how much we need this at the minute. We all need it. Shorty, even you and I need a bit of a loving at the minute, because we've both got our stuff on our plates that we're trying to work through, and it's, it's not easy. But the thing that's the most important, bar none, is we've got each other.
Mm.
We've got each other to support each other to get through what we need to get through. And I can't thank you enough for being in my life, mate. I really appreciate it.
Right back at you, buddy. Thank you so much.
On that one, I'm going to leave tonight, and I'm just thank everybody. Yeah, I really want to thank every single person that follows our journey, that is a part of our journey, that wears the socks, that lets other people know that it's okay. We all have dark days. That gifts to other people. We haven't had the full numbers. I want to say thank you to everybody who bought a pair of socks for my birthday. That was amazing. So actually, I'm just going to go quickly because I want to sort of sit back with Oscar. I'm so proud of my son. Today's his 11th birthday, and is that all right? Do you mind if I just quickly share this story?
Of course, beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm very much of the ilk of understanding, and for my birthday, he got me a book called "Shit Happens," the fitness book for the toilet. Right? It is amazing. It's so funny. All different exercises you can do on the toilet to get fit. But the thing for me is that it was the context in which he did that. It's a simple present that he's gone to a lot of thought to get. He knows I'm into fitness. He knows I like to read on the toilet. And but he's gone to the effort to make sure that I've got that. And today, thank you very much. Excuse me, I love it. It's good fun. But it's today the most amazing thing happened, right? And it's his birthday, and Marcella actually got him this amazing birthday card. On the front of the birthday card, see the word special, rub the word special. So he's out there rubbing it, waiting for something to happen. Wait a second, what's happening? Don't know what's happening here. He opened up the card. I just wanted you to feel special on your day. And I'm like, that is amazing. That is such a sweet thing. Like, that was beautiful. That really got me. So we're sitting there at dinner, and he's finished his dinner, and he's rubbing the table. I feel special. I love that. And it's context, right? Context is everything in every situation, and in the presence we give and the presence we present as in ourselves. The context in which and the intent that we do that with is everything. And I love the journey we're on. I love the journey that I get to share with an 11-year-old boy, the context of a situation, you know, and the intent of the present and what it was. And his birthday present for me for last week, he's like, Dad, what are you getting? What do you get me? So it starts with K. K? I said, yeah. Just give me another hint. Well, the second letter is N. Knife? Pocket knife? I'm like, no. Anyway, last night before he goes to bed, I said, Bud, I'm going to give you another letter. He goes, yes. I said, O. He's gone, what? He goes, nuts. I said, no. Anyway, in the morning, he gets up super early, obviously. And I had 4 books for him. He loves physics. I got him books on physics. And he's opened it up. He's opened up. He's like, oh, I know what this is. And what is it? You got me knowledge. And I'm like, yes, I did. Boom, high five. And I'm like, that to me was, I got dadding right. Marcella got mumming right. We got him right with our intent and the context of what we were doing. Imagine a world where we focus on context and intent. Yeah. So sorry, just
Beautiful.
sharing that, but just
Beautiful.
really
No,
proud
beautiful,
of that moment.
beautiful.
I'm proud of that.
Well done. I'm proud of you of being proud of that.
Thank you. Because we need to support each other when we have proud moments. We need to let each other know that, you know, that's really important.
Yep.
God, I love you, Shorty. Geez, high five, mate. Am I getting you?
I love it. I love it. On that note, smilers and campers, we're going to be calling it a night before Scotty cuts out again and goes to his next commercial break. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here this evening, watching us live and watching the replay, and looking forward to seeing the soccer meter go up over these next few weeks. Jump on the site, IHopeYouAreSmiling.com, register for the event. Buy a sock, donate a sock, whatever you choose. Let's spread some love. Have a wonderful night, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Bye.
Where's that button? Who knows what's going to happen tonight? Is that it? No.